Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review slash wear test on the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation Stick. So I will be wearing it all day long and really giving it a shot. So if you want to see my opinion on it, go ahead and keep watching. So the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation Stick, that's the one that I'm going to be trying out today. It actually comes in 16 different shades. When I was at the store, they actually only had like 6 or 7 in stock. So I picked up 2 different ones that seem kind of close to my shade. I feel like if I mix them, then they'll be the shade that I'm kind of looking for. So I picked up shade 312, which is golden, and shade 330, which is toffee. So they are going to look quite a bit darker on my face. However, the rest of my body is like way darker than what my face is, so that's something that you're gonna notice. So I'm gonna try out both of those, and it just is in like a stick formula. So let's see. Alright, so this one does seem a little bit orangey. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's a little orange. So let me try out the other one. Okay, and that one's definitely way too dark, but like I said, I feel like if I mix them, then it will blend together to give the color that I'm looking for. I am going to use more of the lighter shade and then just use the darker shade a little bit on the edge of my face. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Now I've never actually used a stick foundation before, so I'm interested to try it out. I usually use like liquid foundations. I just like the way that they apply, and I've never had an issue with them, so I'm like, why try something else? And now I'm going to go in with that toffee shade, and I'm going to use it kind of like to contour, but then just like around the edging of my face. I feel like that's going to help with the color. This other one definitely seems too like orangey for me. And then I usually use a damp beauty blender, so I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and blend that out. Okay, I'm actually kind of hard to blend out with a beauty blender. So I'm going to go in with this brush here. It's just like a flat top foundation brush, and I'm going to try to blend that out. Okay, that definitely does seem to be blending out better with this brush here. So once I grab the foundation brush, it does seem to be blending out really well. When I had that beauty blender, it just like wasn't really blending very well. So it could just be because of the type of formula. It's a lot thicker than what I usually use. I usually use, like I said, a liquid foundation, so that makes a big difference there. It is still pretty like orangey, I've noticed. I'm gonna go in with my concealer and that'll brighten it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, and this one is a pretty light concealer, but I feel like that's what this kind of needs to brighten it all up. And I'm just going to conceal everywhere I normally would on my face as well. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender and blend that all out. I'm really excited to try out this foundation because one of my favorite foundations is actually by Maybelline. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. I've had so much luck with that one, and it always just turns out really well. So I'm excited to try this. Hopefully it turns out as good as that one does. So the concealer definitely helped to brighten it up, and I still need to kind of just finish it off. But one thing I am noticing is once I applied the concealer like to my chin, I have some like red spots and acne on my chin. It really seemed to almost like transfer the foundation off of those areas once I started going in with my beauty blender and blending out the concealer, which is doing the opposite of what I'm hoping for, because obviously what I'm wanting is for that concealer to really provide some extra coverage. And I've used this concealer before and I've never had an issue with it, which makes me feel like it might be more of that foundation that's causing that to happen. But I am going to go back in with the toffee shade and really try to just use that like as a more to contour, because I don't really feel like I applied enough, so it didn't really show up. And it is a full coverage foundation, but it does say it's a multi-use foundation stick, so it really is made to be able to be used for multiple different purposes. So like contour, or like if you got a lighter shade, I'm guessing you could use that as concealer, and then obviously foundation. So now that I applied that more as like a contour, I'm going to try to blend that out with my beauty blender and see if it makes a difference since some of the product's already on. I usually use a beauty blender for my foundation, for my contour. I don't really use a brush for those type of products. Okay, so that seemed to blend out pretty decently that time around. It did take a long time really to blend it all out, and I did end up needing to go back in with like my foundation brush and blend it a little bit more because it just didn't really seem to work the way I was wanting it to. I am going to go in and set my under eyes and set under like right around my nose too. And now I'm going to go in with my bronzer and just bronze my face real quick. Okay, so once I applied my bronzer, I am noticing it seems to be really lifting a little bit in this area right where like I put that bronzer. So it's almost like it's picking up the foundation with it. And all these other products that I'm using are ones I've used before and that I really like. So it's definitely not most likely one of those products. I mean, it could just be the way that they work together. That's definitely a possibility. I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my face makeup, and I'll be back to give you my initial review on this product. Alright, so I have finished putting on the rest of my makeup, and on initial impression, I'm honestly not loving it. It isn't terrible, but I feel like it should definitely be covering, especially since it's a full coverage foundation, it should be covering up like the acne that I have a little bit better. And I also, the biggest complaint other than that is that it seems to look like the product seems to lift when I apply other makeup products on top of it. So again, that could just be the products, the way they work together, but it's products that I've used before that I've never had issues with, so it seems like it's more something with that foundation. I am going to continue to wear it for the rest of the day, so I will check back in with you a couple more times and tell you what I'm thinking of it at the moment. It is supposed to be a 24-hour wear foundation. I'm definitely not going to be wearing it for 24 hours, but I'll try to give you as much of a review that I can. So I will check back in with you guys in a few hours. Okay guys, so it's been about 6 hours since I initially applied my foundation, and overall it's looking pretty decent. I am noticing like right here along my cheek, like where I applied the bronzer, it does seem to be fading. Like when like I mentioned before, when I applied the bronzer, it seemed like it almost kind of lifted the foundation off. And just on this side, I am noticing it to be a little bit more faded, but I'm not noticing that on this side. So I'm not sure if maybe I did something to apply that differently. And then it's not really covering the redness as much as I would have loved. Definitely the redness like on my chin and right here along my cheek area, I'm definitely noticing some of that redness starting to come through. But overall, it's not terrible. I do like the way that it looks overall, the way that just my face looks when I'm out. And yeah, so that's my check-in for now. I'm going to check in a few hours before I wash my makeup off and give you my final review. So I will talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, so it's been about 11 hours since I initially put on this foundation. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm noticing that on my nose, like just from like sneezing or like rubbing my nose, that there's a lot of transfer. There's a lot of like missing spots. And I'm definitely noticing like some cracks right here. I will definitely keep trying it out more of like a contour, especially since it is a multi-purpose stick, but I don't know that I'll necessarily be wearing it as a foundation again, just because I feel like after all day wear and just like normal wear, it didn't withstand what I needed to withstand. Just because it didn't work out for me doesn't mean it won't work out for you. So if you try it and you love it, then that's great. It's just not a product that I love. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this review and wear test on the Maybelline Superstay Foundation Stick. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!